Everybody, thank you. Welcome back again. I'm Shiloh Rowe with AGC Austin, Texas. Last month, we held our safety forum meeting, and we were talking about technology and construction and how it relates to safety. One of our guest speakers there was Jason with TyFoom. I've contacted him and I've asked him to come back and give us a little bit more in-depth talk and kind of show us around and show us what our members and other chapters, how they're using TyFoom and what it's doing for them on their job sites. So without going any further into that, I'll let him jump in. Jason, it's all yours.
Thanks, Shiloh. Yeah, appreciate you reaching out and having me participate. Always fun to get together with you, and I loved sitting in on your round table. I actually really loved how you went around the room with everybody. Something positive in your life. That was awesome. So really cool to participate with you and your team there. Yeah. So I spent most of my career in construction. So I've been working with the local AGC chapter here in Utah for these 18 years or so. And, we do work with a lot of AGC members, and it's been really rewarding to see companies that I used to work with that were subcontractors to us or whatever the case, using TyFoom to, help transform the way that they engage and communicate and train with their people, so that we can create proactive cultures that, prevent injuries and incidents and help everybody get safe home every day, because that's really what it's all about. So, we work with about 60 or so local contractors here in Utah, part of AGC Utah, and then companies spread out all over the nation that are, part of, AGC chapters respectively in their states and such. So it's been fun participating with AGC on the national level as well as, on the state levels and the different chapters and really trying to help bring this awesome tool to people. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'll just kind of run through a couple things here. Can you see this okay?
Yep,
Shiloh?
we got you up there.
Okay. So really, the goal here with TyFoom, and this is when I left Kiewit, right? Like I said, I spent a lot of years in construction and worn a lot of different hats. And when I left Kiewit to do this, I had no intention of getting out of construction, and I definitely miss being out there. But it's been rewarding to see companies I used to work with, get things out of this. And we're really just trying to help companies reduce loss and increase productivity, and leveraging technology to do that, to drive daily engagement.
I think you really have to in these days. I really do. Technology, the next step in getting us there, literally, it's coming to the point where it's not a choice anymore. You have to get this and you have to be in it. So,
yeah, that's so true. I mean, there's nothing better than the in-person handshakes and, thank yous and asking how they're doing. And if they, did a good job of recognizing their hazards and controlling them and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing better than those in-person moments, but you really do have to leverage technology today. And it can be a part of your culture. We got a quote here from Jake, great guy, who, said TyFoom really gave them a platform to create a culture. And, if you're using technology to also kind of connect leadership with frontline to help engage them, you can really use technology to create a culture of learning, a culture of continuous improvement, and get everybody connected and engaged. And training is the number one way that everyone communicates with their people. And unfortunately, those in-person meetings are really valuable, but the large dumps of information, whether it's in person or online, you can't absorb that much, right? You forget most of it in the first day and almost all of it within a week or so. So, that forgetting curve is real, and you can't expect people to retain all that information, right? It's like drinking out of a fire hose. You can't consume that much, right? So, and this is where we're at these days. This is how we gather information, whether you're young or whether you're an adult. We're getting online, we're watching little short videos. I'm a huge DIYer. I don't want to pay somebody to do something. So if I got to fix my car, right, my dishwasher, my stove, I just pull up a little video, watch it, a little 1 minute, 2 minute video, apply it in the moment, and now I'm a pro at that, right? So that's where we're at, gathering information, right? So and the attention span kind of, I think because of this, continues to get a little bit shorter. So small bite-sized pieces of information right at your fingertips. And you see people are on all these social media platforms, right? Well, what we've done an amazing job of is creating a system that's automated and simple and intuitive. So you're going to get really amazing engagement. So we've got world-class daily engagement, better than, your top social media platforms out there. And a lot of it's because not only is it simple and automated, but it's tied to gamification. So it's fun, right? Everybody wants to be the top of the leaderboard, and earn the points and the badges and stuff. And it's a great way to tie this directly to your incentives and rewards program and have a simple way to look at your team from, on an even playing field, who's engaged and who's not. And engagement is a lead measure, right? If you can know who's engaged and who's not at your company, that's very proactive. So, and then, with this content consumption, the forgetting curve, like I talked about a second ago, that's real and we forget information. So if we can give our people, small bite-sized chunks of information on a regular, consistent basis, you're going to have, much better impacts in the long run. And then being able to pull that information out when they need it in the moment, or if it's right there at your fingertips, once again, quickly accessible, indexable, right, searchable, so I can grab that one little piece I need and then apply it in the moment.
I love the
So
micro learning that y'all have listed up there, and that really is a way of grasping that micro learning.
yes, that's a kind of been a big buzzword the last few years, and you see people kind of starting to chop down their content from an hour to 20 minutes or whatever, right? Yeah, and that's where it's going. And we consider micro learning to be in that kind of minute and a half, 2 minute range. But that kind of varies based on who you ask or where you look. But yeah, little 1 to 2 minute micro videos on a regular cadence. So that's part of the app, and that's kind of how we were born, is, a better way to get all that relevant and critical information down to the frontline people that need it, to prevent injuries and incidents. That's really how it started. But we've got a lot of really cool feature functionality that can keep people in one place, so they're not in a whole bunch of different apps. You can tie this content to badges. So I can get a badge and I'm a competent, person with a chop saw now, let's say, or whatever the case is. I could watch a series of 10 videos and I get that badge. And that's a great way for people to kind of self-develop. It keeps it all in one spot. So it's really simple to see who has completed, what maybe you wanted them to complete or not. And it makes it fun. So, and then the communication aspect is really powerful, being able to send a message and see that your people have received that message. So it could be a picture, it could have a link to take them somewhere, it could have a document or a video, a short video, where now instead of email, where I send it out and I hope people opened and read it, right? Or trickle down, where I'm just hoping that my frontline leaders are taking that information out to the teams and the crews, and everybody is not only hearing it exactly the way it was meant to be shared, but that they retained it. So now you've got a really great way to communicate with your people and have that visibility. And that can be used for so many things. We see it used for critical stuff like weather warnings or road closures or something that's really significant, where you need to get this information to your people right now. And then, hey, these 3 people haven't seen that. I need to call them. Hey, there's a storm coming or whatever. It becomes a really powerful way to communicate. But it's also fun to do just shares, the kind of stuff you'd put on, social media. Is like you do a lot of cool stuff, Shiloh, where you want to recognize people out there for doing good stuff. And you can give a shout out to one of your team members that says, hey, we want to congratulate Shiloh. It's his 10th anniversary here, and he's been such an asset to the team. So it becomes a really great way to make that community in your company culture too. So, and then digital forms simplify the way that we do all those things we have to do, right? Inspections and JHAs and all those. If they can have a really simple little form to complete, and you can grab that data really quickly, that makes leadership leverage their ability much better. And they can have pictures in them. It's a great way to grab data, and using those for compliance based, or surveys or feedback, or making a suggestion to a team member of the maybe employee of the month or something like that. So there's a lot of fun ways you can do these, and they're customizable. You can push out policies and have instant visibility. Your people have seen and sign that policy or any kind of documents you want them to have access to with a couple clicks. So it becomes a really great way to search critical information too. So
Are the on the forms, I see your pre-shift equipment inspection, and those are
yeah,
really important to have,
yeah, you
to
bet.
make sure that you've got your tools in the right operating procedures and position before you get started. And a lot of times, I hate to say it, but people, they come into play when something has happened. A lot of
Yeah.
times something bad has happened, and you want to go through and like, hey, did you have your checklist filled out? So if an individual is filling this out, is there a way to export that form and send it? Say there's an inspector on the job site, and he's like, I want to see this form, send it to me.
Yeah, that's a great question. The employee, the person that completed the form, actually has the ability to share that. And that could be somebody that's not even in TyFoom. So it could be a client, a GC, whoever that might not be on TyFoom, but you could still email a PDF version of that. Um, so that's really nice. But also just from an administrative perspective, to be able to grab that data really quick and share that with whoever is really nice too, and say, yeah, look, we've had companies get out of OSHA citations, even in S&S once, because they showed their management safety interaction forms at a specific plant location. So, it's a great way to really prove the due diligence you're doing as an organization to be on top of it. So that's a great question.
Awesome. And then your certificate tracking, I'm assuming that you can load up different licenses and certifications, or maybe your OSHA 10 and your CPR training cards, or
Yeah, and this is really slick because I've been there where you're managing the spreadsheets of people's trainings, and people expire because you're not keeping on top of it, and it's costly to have people's trainings or certifications expire, and then they have to wait for the next class, right? And then they got to go to a different job until they can get there. So that can be a real challenge, not to mention the time suck of you know keeping track of that spreadsheet. And what's cool about this is you can put these certifications in. So a CPR or an MSHA, any kind of thing that expires, and it's going to give automatic reminders to the employee and to the management. So at 90, 60, 30, and 7, I know that my forklift certification or my CPR certification or whatever is expiring. And so it gets me involved in making sure that I renew it, but also as a manager, you don't have to think about it. It just comes to you. So you see the notification and you take care of it. We've seen people using these for assets too. So, annual crane inspections. We have a crane company that loves using these because now he's not managing that. He's just like, I just get notifications, and every time one pops up, I just schedule it. And he's like, I haven't had one expire in 2 years now. So really cool. And I know I had to send a crane away one time that its annual wasn't, and I was like, hey, sorry, we're not going to take that liability. So we had to send the crane away, and they brought a new one out. So that can be a big thing. So there's a whole lot of things it does, but once again, with all of this different feature functionality, the idea is to drive engagement and make it simple for your people to grab what they need, and make it simple for management to access that data and connect with their people. And one more simplicity is all this stuff's tied to QR codes. So you could have a QR code on a forklift, and maybe one you scan and it takes you right to that inspection. Yeah. Or it could be a video that they watch, or a policy they sign, or a document that takes them to some data, maybe an SDS sheet. You could have a lockout tagout procedure for, some disconnects or something, where you scan it and it walks you right through that in a permit or a form function, take you to a badge to earn. So all of that functionality is tied to QR codes to just make it that much more simple. So that's kind of just an overview. Shiloh, if you want, I can share my phone and kind of show you how it works.
yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see that. Let other folks see it actually in action now.
Okay, let me pull my phone up here, and I kept my video on for today, so you can see how it actually works. Let me just get this tied together.
Break the glasses back out.
But that's not. There we go. Took a second to pop up there. Yeah, so I left my notification on for today for my video so you could see the actual process, right? So can you see my phone okay, Shiloh?
I do.
Okay. So the idea here is customizable schedule. Days of the week, times a day, different groups can get different videos, different days, different times, whatever. So it's very flexible. But once again, the simplicity that makes all the difference in the world is I don't have to go find it. It just comes right to me. So every morning, boom, I get a video, I click it, and I watch my video.
And we're not hearing anything on this end, but somehow I'm not picking up any audio.
No audio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I can stop it then. Sorry, I don't want to play a video you can't hear, but that's an example of one of our videos that's, right around 2 minutes long. As soon as the video is done, it would take me right to my quiz. And then I just complete my quiz, and then my tasks are completed for the day. And then I'm in my little home page with my gamification. Like we had a note today about the food drive that we're doing internally at our company, right? So, um, cool way to communicate stuff with your people. So, like you can see, I just looked at that message, and that's one of my two things I was assigned for the day. But, once I watch my video and take my quiz, that taskbar would be filled up. And then I'm just in my homepage with my stats and my gamification, which makes it fun, right? You've got a leaderboard, um, and employees can really quickly access all sorts of great information. So you see down here the icons, really intuitive. I click on the library tab, and I'm right in my library, so I can search or grab whatever I need. So if I wanted to go into my videos and maybe I wanted to find a video on confined space, or like you know
Falls.
excavation stuff. Yeah, I've got all this different content right there at my fingertips. Like we said with badges, you could earn, specific badges. So this could be new hire orientations. This could be, any kind of content you want to tie, any kind of badge you want to tie multiple videos to so they can earn that.
Is
This
this
is where
available in multiple languages?
yeah, so I can really quickly come in here and I go into the language and I can select French or Spanish. We're kind of in the works for working out some things with some other languages, but if I click Spanish, it immediately makes the app in Spanish, as you can see, right?
Oh,
So everything's in
nice.
Spanish, and then all of our videos are done in Spanish subtitles and Spanish quizzes. So we've seen companies put stuff in here too and then translate, so they end up having our content in Spanish as well as their own in Spanish too, which has been really convenient. So
Nice.
my Spanish is all right, but maybe not too great. So I'm going to go back to English here. But yeah, from the library, I can access all of these different things, policies, great place to house documents. So you could have OSHA standards, SDS sheets,
Like
you could have takeoffs if you wanted, traffic control plans,
employee handbook.
employee assistance programs, or anything that you want to have your people have quick access to. Like we said, the certifications can be in here, and those can actually be housed right there, so you can show that to an inspector or somebody that comes by.
Awesome.
So really quick, accessible library. The message feature, like I showed it, it's going to house these and it'll show that I viewed that message. So great way to communicate with your people. You can track your in-person meetings with this too, either through a QR code or a code or by a GeoGrid. So better way to track those in-person meetings than sign-in sheets. You've got a calendar that's fun, so you can know upcoming stuff. You could have your training schedule on here, so people know when the next training course is. Oh, Shiloh's got a OSHA 10 next week. I'm gonna hit that. So really great way to, or birthdays, things like that. Really great way to have all that information to your people. And another awesome thing to simplify, people can put their own videos in here. So they can make a little video out in the workplace of something relevant, upload it into the platform, and then the admin can, approve that and put it out there to everybody. So just a simple
Okay.
way to
So it
get
still
that to
has an
everybody.
approval.
Yeah, definitely need
Okay.
the approval.
So you don't end up with any artistic liberties.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of a quick overview. Do you have any questions, Shiloh, or anything you feel like would be good sharing?
Now, as we have our GC members and we have our subcontractor members, if a subcontractor is working with a GC, how does it work, and how do you, when you got some, a small firm coming in working for the GC, are they having to buy in at the same type of package? Is it tiered down, or how does the flow and process from the guy that you're hiring sweeping the floors to the project manager? How's that tie in?
That's a good question. Just as far as internally in the company, it's all the same for everyone. You can select what you want people to see and not see. So, your people in your company have visibility to only whatever you allow them to have visibility of. From a relationship perspective with subcontractors, general contractors, clients per se, we have a feature called sharing that actually enables companies to share stuff within the platform. And so it could give a general contractor visibility of subcontractors completing site specific orientations, inspection forms, whatever it is, which is really nice. They would just all have to be in the platform. And so if they get in the platform, they could share stuff internally, that's specific to what they want their subs to do and complete and see. So that's pretty revolutionary to have a system that, different accounts can share stuff internally through the platform.
Awesome, awesome. Great, thank you for that. Um, do you have a screen that you could pop up to share your contact information? So if our members are seeing this, they can reach back out to you to say, hey, I want to hear more and see what you can do for me on that one.
Sure, you bet. So here's a slide with my contact information right here.
All right, good.
Yeah, and you could click that QR code and it'll take you right to me.
Awesome. Jason, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Like I said, I thought this was good information and thought there'd be a way that we could share it out with everybody, and thought, hey, let's give this a quick try. So haven't done this too many times, but I'll see if I can get this converted over and I can send it out to our folks and put it up on our website so they can contact you for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the way that we're looking with technology in our industry, we've got to grab a hold of it. Jason and companies like TyFoom are making it easy for us. They're putting those things out there. I think the microlearning is an amazing way to get a hold of things, get it out there in today's world. We've all seen reels and shorts and little videos, whether you're talking about your cat video or your grandkids playing in the Christmas parade. It's all been out there. So we've seen that, and we know how we look at that and we view it and how it takes up parts of our days. And so I think feeding this into our new construction forum, so you're not just pulling out an old manual with weathered paper from 1997 and trying to read a toolbox talk off of it. I think these new ways of doing it, the videos look crisp and sharp. We didn't get to hear it this go around, but we got the generalization of it. And Jason, thank you again. Appreciate you making the time for me and for our members, and hope to see everybody out there. So take care. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thanks,
much.
Shiloh. I appreciate it again and appreciate your leadership and all you're doing out there in the industry. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, take care.